Hi, Gemini. It's Jenny here with your August Tarot Horoscope. Cool. Let's do that one. That one jumped right up. That's funny because Cancer just had that one. So, looks like you and Cancer are on some similar wavelengths. So, that was quick. Page of Wands for you, Gemini. Jumped out ready for you. So here we go. Page of Wands. It's always interesting when multiple signs get the same card because it's the same card, but it's always like such a different way that it expresses. So anyway, that's just me geeking out. So Gemini, here you go. Page of Wands is the card we have for you today, and I am going to take a look at what's going on for you. So the first 2/3 of August is Leo season, and then we have Virgo season at the end of the month. So those are what's coming up there. So Page of Wands, renewed strength. Only on this card is the central figure totally enveloped in his own aura, from head to foot. This has a double meaning. The Page of Wands is totally immersed in his own concerns. He surrenders to his flame and his passion unconditionally and is always full of enthusiasm. At the same time, this card counsels us to be aware of the limitations of our perceptions because we are absorbed in our own world. The snake-like or butterfly-like drawings around the central figure alert us to our much greater potential. Our zest for action and desire to develop urge us on to reach beyond our own boundaries now. In relation to our motivational forces, Wands, fire energy, the scope of our actual experience is relatively small. This is a danger, but also an opportunity. Be aware of naive inactivity as well as effusive zeal. We once entered this life full of the will to survive, to grow, and to express ourselves. We can harness this zeal now to explore the world thoroughly, greeting each success or failure as a new experience. If we welcome ordeals of fire and recognize them as a form of inner purification, we will find ourselves enriched by these lessons. Our ability always to go beyond ourselves gives us renewed strength and replenishes our youthful vitality. Practical advice. Learn to understand energies that are larger than you. Be aware of narrow-mindedness. Hold on to that which makes your heart sing and your spirit soar. Okay, Page of Wands. This feels like a really complimentary energy for you, Gemini, because Gemini often has this very youthful kind of quality to it. The fresh student energy. Gemini is usually yeah, let's learn, let's do new things, this very kind of childlike enthusiasm. And Wands as a fire energy and Gemini as an air sign, fire grows a lot more when you blow on it. So adding this exuberant Gemini air quality to the Page of Wands just feels like it's just going to expand the whole thing. You're just going to fit right in home here. So, and this is Leo season 2 anyway, and Leo season's a fire sign that also has a lot of youthful energy. I'm getting really excited. It sounds like a lot of fun happening in the classroom this month. Yeah, there's this concept of this kind of student or this page that's totally enveloped in their aura of what it is that they're passionate about, and they're full of enthusiasm. And there's this when you contain something but then increase the pressure of it, or increase the energy that's in it, there's this pressure that builds in it, and then that pressure has a lot of potential energy to create something. So whether it's heat that's contained or air that wants to expand, or both, that there's this instead of just kind of letting it go as it builds, containing it for a while, it allows you to harness it. When you do release it, there's so much more energy that goes. So there's this kind of feeling of you're kind of Gemini, you're coming in, you're kind of building for something, and you're really starting to percolate and getting into that kind of aura of something, of whatever it is that you're kind of really interested in or getting cooked on. And that's really going to give us this push to go past our boundaries. Maybe there's been something you've been working on or kind of trying to build, and just your usual energy is just not quite enough to get you that far. And so it's this opportunity now, wait a minute, let's just save it up for a bit, and then that's gonna help us push the boundary to the next level. So this is something that but it may also grate with you a little bit. So Gemini is often it's the most airy, mutable sign, so doesn't really like to be held down. So there might be feeling really uncomfortable if you're pressurized this. No, I want to leave. I want to go. I don't want to stay here. I don't want to keep doing the same thing. I feel the walls are closing in on me. I just want to go and be free. But if the ability to discipline yourself and contain yourself just for long enough to build up that pressure, so that when you do get free, you get to that next level where you've been unable to reach, is something I really encourage you to use this time. If you are feeling pressure and contained, think Are you actually being like held down or anchored and restricted in a bad way? Or is this launch board that's about to get you somewhere else? So that's like kind of my encouragement is like, look for your life of where you're feeling like you're kind of pressurized or trapped and where you want to break free, and think like, hold on, what's actually going on here? Like, instead of just taking that first escape valve, like, maybe this is really encouraging me, showing me where something is actually not that great, where I've just been kind of like, like where you're putting up with a relationship, say, because you spend so much time apart, or, you're like, oh, you got a living situation that's like possible only because you keep leaving home and going somewhere else. So you don't actually have to like put up with what you're experiencing. You don't really realize that you're uncomfortable. And if you take away those crutches and those escape routes, and then you stay like kind of like honestly, COVID the last couple of years has been a major thing of that, of like being unable to move, unable to travel, being stuck at home. You may have really found like, I don't like my living situation. I don't get along with my roommates. I don't like there's a lot of things that I actually don't enjoy that I've been able to kind of medicate myself by just always going or doing different things, and never actually changing the root cause. You just keep running away from it. So this is a really awesome time to continue that kind of thing that may have been kind of building for the last couple of years, of seeing what do you actually really not like, that's keeping you trapped, and instead of just running back and forth in little ways, actually like disciplining yourself, feeling that you don't like it, and then making that bigger change so that you're free of it altogether, and you don't have to keep going through this cycle of like, oh, I hate it, oh, pressure relief, oh, back into it, pressure relief, like that's just goes on forever. So yeah, this is this seems like a really interesting, like this talking about inner purification, or an ordeal of fire that is allowed by this kind of, just this staying in it and contained, and like cooking yourself up with inspiration of what it is that needs to change and how you do it. So this first season, or this first 2/3 of August, is Leo season, which is great because Leo season is really, Leo's focused in on the self, and about their own expression of what they want to create, what they want to do. So Leo is quite egoic, which can be a really, really good thing if you're trying to figure out what is it you want and what is it you don't want. You can't tell if you're not actually looking at yourself and you're not examining your desires and knowing and figuring out your will of what it is that you want, divorced from other people. What you want is the only way that you really just need that guiding principle, even if you are a person who really does like to take care of other people and is concerned about the community. But that may be part of why you've been stuck in this kind of uncomfortable place, is you haven't given your own needs enough credence and you've just sort of pacified yourself. So this Leo season is really, really encouraging you to look at your own needs. What do you want? What do you want out of life? What do you want to express? What is your center stage? What makes you feel really comfortable and confident, and how can you get there? And then towards the end of August, this Virgo season. Virgo's all about health, and so if you've been looking at yourself and examining your needs, now you get to see, are you in a healthy position? What do you need for your health and well-being? Have you examined and realized, actually, I do have it good. I'm really actually quite satisfied. Maybe I am in a healthy place, and now you know that. Or you're like, no, this is not working for me. What is the healthy choice? What do I need to do to make my life healthier? Which does then ripple out to others and those you care about, because now you have the strength and the comfort and the well-being to assist others instead of just burning yourself out because you refuse to look at your own needs. So you are most helpful when you are healthy. So you need to take care of yourself first, and then you can be a much stronger participant in other people's lives. So that's kind of what this month looks like, is kind of staying put for a bit to pressurize, looking at what your needs are and your desires, seeing what you're actually been putting up with that you're really uncomfortable with, and then looking into that, Virgo, what's the healthy aspect? What do I need to do? Virgo is also very good at critical and efficient planning. So little stages of this needs to happen and this needs to happen and this, which is good for you, Gemini, to really focus in on the plot, basically what needs to happen so that I can get what I need. And then bust out, have that, once you've cooked up that aura, go expand past to where you really want to go, and leave this chapter behind that's just had you friggin' yo-yoing back and forth with something that isn't very comfortable. So yeah, that's what I've got for you today. Totally different than what Cancer had for Page of Wands, because that's how these things go. But looks like there's lots of things cooking up for lots of people. If you want any assistance in this Leo season, particularly, to see what are kind of the transits that are happening, there's a couple of retrogrades that are happening too, which is actually really great for this like kind of reassessing and like examining your life path right now. Retrogrades are great for that. So do check out my Leo season astrology forecast. It's a pay what you can workshop, super accessible on my YouTube channel. So do check that out. That's going to really, really help you while you cook up whatever's coming next. And yeah, that's it. Best of luck to you, Gemini. I'm excited to see how far you propel yourself. And I will see you next month. Take care.